Is it okay?
Yes, sir, it is okay.
Thank you so much. So I'm privileged and honored to be a part of this IPS PG convention, and I'm thankful to Indian Prosperity Society to give me an opportunity to share my thoughts on intellectual property right. And I am also thankful to Dr. Naren Padiyar and the team from Jaipur for the wonderful conference here. So the topic which is allotted to me regarding intellectual property rights and what should be our approach if we have we have developed some intellectual property like patent or copyright. So how should we go ahead for that? So this is our talk today, and I have taken images from different websites to give a better idea about what is going on at this present point of time. And as we all know that there are different types of property. We buy house, buy car, and these are all comes under tangible property. And then another property is intangible, which is physically not present, you can say. So under the intangible property, intellectual property come. It includes the industrial property, it includes the copyright, it includes the patent, it includes the trademark, geographical indicator, and all these things. But as a process odontics, we generally face about the intellectual property right for the patent and the copyright, because we develop classifications, we develop methods for that, and we have to get copyright for that. Like for any product, there are different types of intellectual property by the inventor, and trademark is the canon. The name is canon. How it is written is the trademark. And then come to the design, because the lens is protected by the patent, but the design, like we have a different types of cars in the market. They might have a same engine, you can see, like the capacity of the engine is same, but we generally go for the look of the design. Look, and that's why we choose the product. So design is another very important finding points after getting the patent. So what is intellectual property right? It's actually usually owns their work. That means if I develop something, it is my right that I can give it to other one or not. Cannot just copy without consideration of their right? Because we cannot just use the work Kodak or use the lens which is developed by any camera or use any prosthodontics product, maybe articulator, maybe carver, maybe some instrument for our own use without taking permission from the developer. Apart from this, we can at least compensate for that so that he is able to develop or upgrade their products. And development of industries is very important, because if something is developed, if as a process artist I have developed something, we have developed something, ultimately it should be industrialized. If it is not industrialized, then product will not come in the market and people will not get benefited with that. It is important to encourage new talents with more original idea, because as we all know that different people have different thoughts, different way of making something, different way of presenting something, and that's why we have to encourage new talents. And if we get protected for that intellectual property, then we can encourage new talents in that field. So why should we protect our IP? Because recognition to an inventor and issue. This is very important. There are two things in patent. One is applicant and the other one is inventor. Patent is granted to the applicant. Patent is not granted to the inventor. If, say for example, there is a name of applicant and there is a name of inventor in one patent, and if my name is present as an inventor, I cannot officially say that it is my patent. Only the patent is granted to the applicant. It is specifically very important in case of institution. Then come to the royalty reward. It can be shared, like depend upon the sharing formula. If we do not written anything in the patent application about the royalty, sharing of the royalty, it will automatically distribute it equally to each applicant. Availability of genuine and original product. This is very important. If we do not protect our IP, somebody else will duplicate and start marketing that. And that person do not know the nitty-gritty and each and every detail of that patent. So that's why people will not get the original product when they buy. Now come to the difference between invention, innovation, and discovery. It's a very small, tricky difference. Invention is a technical solution to a technical problem. This is invention. And when it comes into the market, this is innovation. And discovery is like, which is already present. And we have explored the reason of happening that thing. This is discovery. So this is the technical difference here. I would concentrate more on invention and then innovation. So patent is granted to the inventor if the inventor and applicant is the same. It is granted for the invention, not for the discovery. It is not restricted to specific areas. Say, for example, we are a process artist. It doesn't mean that we cannot go enter into the engineering field. We cannot go enter into any other field, maybe social, maybe any other thing. So it's not restricted to specialty, not limited to the improvement. It is not only merely we have to improve something. We can develop completely new things. But it should be novel. That means nobody else has done. And how can you know that nobody else has done? I will discuss, tell you later on, like what are the database that we have to search. Then it should be useful. It should not be harmful to the population, to the environment, to the nature. This is very important. And it should be non-obvious. It should not be something like that, especially the specialist of that particular area say, oh, it's very obvious. So it should not be non-obvious. I'm just sharing these thoughts that it is a 2018 patent application which is filed from across the world. And it's very dramatically, the China has filed in 2018, 46% of the patent is filed all over the world is filed by China. And where we stand here. So we have to increase the filing of the patent application. We have to mobilize our students, ourselves also, so that we can protect our intellectual property. So current status of patent about in India is that in worldwide 65 million patent has been filed. This is 2020 data. And out of 65 million patent, 3 lakhs is only filed by Indians. And out of this 3 lakh, 2,40,000 filed by foreigners like MNCs working in India. So remember, only 60,000 out of 65 millions we have filed. So this we have to be very careful, because if we do not protect our intellectual property, somebody else will copy. And then they may get patent or they may commercialize it and we can't. So 99% of invention is free. That means if any patent is filed in US or some any other country, and if it is not filed in India, we can commercialize that product. Same for them as well. If you file our patent in India and we do not file our patent in US, the company working in US can take all the nitty-gritty of my patent and they can commercialize in US as well. So what can be protected in patent? Device or method which have a novelty, as I have told you before. It should have an inventive step. That means it can be commercialized and it have an industrial applications. If it doesn't have an industrial application, only we can get publication. That's it. So publication is for like individual credential and patent is for money. This is the very simple difference between publication and patent. Publication for the CV and patent for the making money. That was like industrial application is very important. If we do patent, file patent and granted a patent, and ultimately we do not, that product will not come into the market. It's like, it's just like one line in a sheet. That's it. So inventive steps like what are the features of invention? It can be like a technical advancement of the particular thing which is existing. It should have economic significance or both. And that feature must not be obvious, which is like specialists know that this is a simple logic. That should be not obvious. That's why when we file patent, the patent office, it is scrutinized by the patent agent as well as the expert. The benefit to the inventor is exclusive right. What are the benefits that inventor will get? Exclusive right. That means they have to decide whether they have to sell, they have to give it to another one or not. It is granted by government to the applicant. This is very important. For 20 years from the date of file, if you file patent in 2021, and if it is granted after 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 years, it will be for 20 years from 2021 to 2041. We have a commercial gain, and it comes with one barrier that we have to disclose each and every detail in the patent. If we hide something, it's a different issue. So we have to disclose everything to the government. Then government will give us a right. And if I file patent in each and every country, and there is a PCP application process in which we can file almost 160, 158 countries in one application. So, but it's a territorial right. It's not a problem. Where to file and how to file? In India, there are 4 offices in Kolkata and Mumbai, Chennai for the patent, and we can go and file offline as well as we can submit online. And online require the digital signature. So we should have a digital signature for that. There is a filing fees. Filing fees is different for institution. Filing fee is different for individual. And one more thing, that if any inventor is female in your application, then your fee will reduce. So they will get discount if any female is present in the inventor list. And there is a maintenance fee as well as. So maintenance fee we have to pay after you get the grant, not from the beginning. And for the individual, approximate total expenditure for a patent from the filing to getting the grant, around 5 to 6,000 for the individual. If it is filed by the institution, the rate is completely around 25,000 to 50,000. If it is filed by own, if it is filed by some patent agent or attorney or some office, private office, that cost will vary, like maybe from 50,000 to 1 lakh or something like this. Now come to the steps of patent application. Immediately, if we have some idea, we have to file patent as a provisional application, provisional specification, giving a very brief detail about the product. We should not disclose each and everything this time. And after the provisional specification, we can file complete specific 1 year. So the smart people was looking at the the expiry of the provisional specification, which provisional specification is going to expire, and they develop their own product and file as a complete specification. And publication, it is like every Friday. Patent Journal of India is the name of the journal, and it published every Friday. Just have a look sometime if you have a time. I will share the link. And after the publication, patent is examined by the patent agent, and first examination report is sent in. And on the basis of first examination report, we have to reply back, like the query raised by the reviewer, the same as we get in publication. And it may be granted, it may be rejected. And if we do not reply to the first examination report, it will be abandoned. And anybody else can not file patent of that particular device or patent. There is a maintenance fee, but maintenance fee you have to pay after getting the grant. If you do not get grant, no maintenance fee is required. And then commercialization. Commercialization is not mandatory, but commercialization is very important. it is the government property after 20 years. Even if you pay the maintenance fee, it is the government property after 20 years. So just a brief detail about provisional specification should be filed as soon as the inventive idea comes in mind. What happens, we generally, if we find some idea, we generally discuss with so many people or present in a conference or present in a newspaper or something like this. We have to stop this practice. What we have to do is, if we have some idea and we know that we think that it is an innovative idea, we have to first discuss in the first see in the different databases. What is like, are we thinking, do we thinking that it's a new idea or it's like a very old idea? So we have to say different databases, and if it is innovative, new idea, we have to file the provisional specification and do not discuss this idea to everyone. We have to just discuss in a closed room with the people who can be helpful. And there is a preamble for that. The following is specific and describes the nature of this invention. So this is like the line which is we have to write in provisional specification. You can get format how to write provisional specification in this. And in Nagpur, one institute is there, the Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Right. They give a very good training for 1 week if you want to go. That's a very good government training institute for that. And then change your provisional specification. You can change, but the date will be like, there's a tricky point in this. If you file provisional specification in January and then you want to change the provisional specification detail in March, then this January and February, if somebody files their provisional specification in January, February, you will lose your patent. So this is a tricky point. So what are the advantage of provisional specification? The priority of invention. That immediately when you file provisional specification, your protection of the intellectual property start from that date. And that provisional specification do not need each and every detail, but you have to submit each and every detail within 1 year. Get extra time, like 1 year for further development, and disclose to interested person to obtain financial support. Yes, you can ask for the funding from different agencies and explore your commercial feasibility. This is very important. You have to find some company who can commercialize your product and avoid further expenses if no commercial feasibility is there. Yes, because if you know that so any company is not interested in and is like it will not come, it will not get commercialized very like it's not feasible, then there is no need to expense your money in the final specification. Complete specification is necessary to get a patent because examination will be done on the basis of complete specification. It must include claim. And there is a preamble for that, how to write the claims, like this specification describes this. Element of specification, there is a particular field, like whether it is related to medicine, whether it is related to engineering or agriculture, anything, and then background of the invention, like what are the invention that has been done in this particular type of device related to this. And if you have prior art, if you have like anything which is published before that. Element of complete specification includes the claim, be important, and it should have a drawing that will be a very good, and it should have an abstract, each in separate sheet. Claims should relate to a single invention. It should be clear. It should be based upon matter disclosed in the specification. I will share a detail about how to write the claim here. Principal claims should define all essential novel feature in your patent, and optional features should come as a subordinate to the principal claim. This is a bit tricky type of things, but you can take help from your lawyer or something, so like attorney for the dealing with the patent. So they will help you writing in the claims. Write each claim in one sentence. It is preferred to form a two-part format here, like this transitional phrase, like this invention is characterized by this, and as soon as figure number this. So this is they have a clear defined writing style for the patent. Now come to the content of patent specification. Who filed the patent? Anyone file can patent. When it was filed, it should be filed as early as when you come with new idea. You have to file original specification. And I have told you where it is filed. It can be filed in online as well as offline. The field of invention you have to decide, and in field of invention you have to do title, abstracts, claim, specification, then preferences, bibliographic information, and drawing if any. Because if we give some idea about some device, it is better to explain with the drawing. These are the text of complete specification, the technical field description of invention and claim with the like what is the difference with the already existing devices. So this way we have to give the detail. This is the silly example which people generally do, like a sandwich comprising two pieces of bread, peanuts, butter, and jam. So what they think that they have developed something new, but it is obvious to everybody. Because where the peanut butter is spread on one piece of bread and jelly is spread on the other piece of the bread. So they are not explaining the things very well. So these are the silly examples people generally do. So there is a different, there is a predefined writing style for the patent. This is the website that we can go and find out the status of our patent application or something like this. Earlier, it takes around 8 to 9 years to get your patent granted, but now they have reduced the time limit to, I think, 5 years now. And this is the patent grant procedure. So filing of the patent, then publication, then examination, then getting it granted or not. Even if you get your patent granted, somebody can object that within 1 year. So formal examination, and there is a fee for the examination. You have to apply for the fee after the filing complete specification. So first you have to file the provisional specification, then complete specification, then ask for publication. You have to deposit the fee for that. Then you can ask for the examination and you have to deposit the fee. So fee at each and every step. You can give like, you can go is like in one way, like you file the complete specification with the publication and examination fee in one way. This is the website where you can get different types of form. Like the form to file the patent is like you will get separate form for the fee and everything. There's a different form for that. You can get all that form from here. What is the importance of patent publication? There are enormous size of resources and a wide variety of areas there. 80% not published elsewhere. So you will not get like if you search in a Google database, you will not get the patent there. Though there are different database by the Google for the patent, but you will not get patent published in any other journal. So they have a very specific database to search for patent. First publication. Always remember that you should not go for publication for the patent and copyright. First, you have to protect your intellectual property. Just give an example. The patent of the punch card was published in 1889, and they published in any other form, in any other journal or in a conference in 1914, after around like 25 years. For the television, the patent was published in 1923, and publication come in 1928. But here we do completely different. We first publish, then we ask for the patent, and patent cannot be granted because it is already come in public domain. Like jet engine, patent was published in 1936. The first publication come after the 10 years. So expired patent is free to use. If the patent is expired, anybody in the world can use. So these are the website. They are the free website as well as the paid website where you can search the patent, whether your patent is new or have some novel idea about that or not. When you search these database, you will find, oh, people are doing wonders in any type of field. Say, for example, if you want to develop some articulator or modify the articulator, if you search the website, then you find, oh, people are doing so many modifications in the articulator. And then you realize, like, people are doing. Even I can tell you, people in China, in the high school student, class 8 student, they are filing patent. And remember, remember that only 20% patent you will find in Google. So if you search in Google and think that your idea is novel, please be careful. You have to search these free websites at first. And 80% of the different databases are free and paid. So these are the research website where you can. Paid website is very costly. Free websites you can consult. So this is the journal in which patent is published every week on Friday. So you can search and see the journal here. And this is their patent search database of Indian patent agency. So you can search by name, by title, by author, by date. You can search just like a PubMed. So is my invention in new? First, you have to search the existing devices present in the market. Then you have to see the current technical development which is being done or which was done, so that you are sure that your innovation is new. You have to ever so that you can avoid the expensive and duplicates. Most of the time we spend our time, we spend our money in like developing something, and later on we are like, oh, it is not, it cannot be granted, and there is a risk for infringement as well. So we have to search first the free website. Pre and post grant can object that your patent is not new, and you have violated the patent rights. So patent can be withdrawn or infringement charges can be later on. So this is very important. Now come to that some ethical issues as well, as because patent is completely different and ethical norms is completely different. So these two agencies are not clubbed with each other. So when you have to develop some device, you have to file the patent separately, and you have to take ethical approval and clinical trials completely different, which is governed by your institutional ethical committee or ICM or these things. An invention will not be granted for as IPR if it hurts the human, animal, plant life or environment. Like if we develop some machine which actually produce fake currency, it cannot be granted. If we develop some device which actually helps in atomic bombing, it will not help. And then the agency will not grant us an IPR. So this we have to take care of. So this is the same thing, like if we harm somebody, patent cannot be granted. And if we develop some technique or method which is actually help the surgical process, render them free from any disease, to increase the economical value of the operation or treatment, it will not be granted. Like method of vaccination nowadays, if we develop some method of vaccination to help actually the people a lot, that patent cannot be granted. If you develop a method for removal of, say, for example, any tumor in oral cavity, it cannot be granted. So this is an example of patent. Like it is written very cleverly. Like they have mentioned that all-purpose dental syringe. They have not mentioned that it is used for the LA. No, they have mentioned all-purpose. That includes each and everything. Delivery system for dispensing various types of dental material. So they use a very broad term so that nobody else can copy their system. And if they copy their system, they actually file the infringement charges. So these are the diagrams for this syringe they have developed. Look at the each and every detail of their patent. And they have to write the problem and prior art, whatever the patent is present in the market, they have to scrutinize that, they have to discuss each and everything. And they have to write the summary of invention. Then they have to mention the object. Then they have to mention the claim here. Right, invention is defined as a claim number one. So they have to keep the claims, like which is not done before. Now come to the copyright. This is the website of the Copyright Office of India, where you can get each and every detail about how to file the copyright and the process to check the copyright. And it's very nominal fees. Like if you develop some classification, we can easily file, but fee is only 500 per work. So just for classification, depend upon like which we are trying to copyright. It's dependent upon like the fees vary according to that. This is the website where we can file copyright in India. And it's very simple. We have to just create a user ID and login, and then we have to file the form 14 and form 34, and then we have to approve signature and all these things. So we can do online, like file form online, pay the fee online, generate. This is the way they grant us the copyright with the name of all the authors. And this is the prosthetic treatment-based classification of article defect. We have filed the copyright before, and we have to give detail about the species, the background, and objective description of the classification. This is the classification that we have developed, and we have to give each and every detail of this classification. This is a short detail about that. And what should be our approach? So always listen to students and children, because most of the brilliant idea come by the UG and PG students. So we have to listen. Whether there is a silly idea, it's not a problem. You have to just listen and try to develop the new idea, new patent or new copyright. Encourage those who have a new idea. This is very important. We many times discourage our students or this really silly idea of edition. First patent, then publication in uniform. This is the biggest mistake that we are doing. Publish it, and then we go for the patent. And that, if something come in public domain, it cannot be granted. This is the golden rule of the patent. If we even publish our finding in newspaper, patent, you will not get patent. And regulatory approval as per the DCGI and CDSCO. Like for the device, we have to go for the CDSCO now. Ethically do the trial and keep all the data, keep all the attendance register, keep all the, you have to monitor